Hi, I'm Henry, CTO at Apex AI. Today we're walking through how Claude Code replaces the work small business owners normally hire a virtual assistant to do, and why this change is bigger than most operators realize. In the next 11 minutes, I will give you the economic baseline, the mental shift required, 3 real use cases from inside Apex AI with detailed walkthroughs, the technical setup, the trust ramp, the failure modes, and the cost math. First, the baseline economics. A virtual assistant for a small business owner costs anywhere from $300 to $600 a month for part-time work, typically 20 to 30 hours per week. The work itself is usually a mix of inbox triage, document formatting, research pulls, scheduling, data entry, and miscellaneous administrative tasks. Some VAs handle more specialized work, bookkeeping, customer service, social media scheduling, but the bread and butter VA economic model is about administrative leverage at a price point that beats hiring a domestic employee. Claude Code costs $20 a month. The Claude Pro plan. That is the same price as the consumer ChatGPT subscription most owners are already paying for. And Claude Code can do roughly 80% of what a virtual assistant does for administrative work, without scheduling conflicts, without onboarding time, without time zone issues, and at any hour of the day or night. Before I show you the use cases, here is the mental shift to make Claude Code work for you. Claude Code is not a tool. Tools require you to operate them. Claude Code is a junior engineer with infinite patience. You give it tasks the same way you would give a new hire tasks. You explain the goal, you explain the inputs, you explain the expected output, you provide context where context matters. Claude Code does the work and reports back. If you treat it like a tool, you will get poor results. If you treat it like a hire, you will get extraordinary results. Let me show you what this looks like in production. 3 real use cases from this past week inside Apex AI. Use case 1. I had a folder with about 300 customer support emails accumulated over the last quarter. The goal was to identify recurring objections so the marketing team could write content addressing them. The old approach would have been to spend a half day reading through emails and tagging them by category, then summarizing the patterns. Instead, I told Claude Code, read every email in this folder, categorize each one by the primary objection or concern raised, produce a summary report with the top 10 objection types ranked by frequency, with 3 representative quotes per category showing the strongest examples. Output the report as a markdown document I can hand to the marketing thread. The work that would have taken me 4 hours took Claude Code about 6 minutes. Use case 2. We had a messy spreadsheet from a client onboarding intake. Disorganized columns, inconsistent date formats, missing headers, mixed data types in single columns, standard messy data. I told Claude Code, open the spreadsheet, standardize the date formats to ISO, split the mixed columns into properly typed columns, add headers based on the inferred meaning of each column, flag any rows that look like data quality issues so I can review them manually, output a clean version with the issues file as a separate sidecar. Work that would have taken a virtual assistant an hour took Claude Code under a minute. Use case 3. I needed to research 5 companies for a client briefing the next day. The standard pattern would have been to either do the research myself or hire it out to a VA who would charge for the time. Instead, I told Claude Code, research each of these 5 companies. For each, produce a 1-page brief covering what they do, who their customer is, their pricing model if visible, recent news in the last 90 days, and any notable strategic moves like acquisitions or leadership changes. Use the web for research. Output the briefs as individual markdown documents named by company. Work that would have taken 3 to 4 hours of my time took Claude Code about 15 minutes. Notice the pattern across all 3 use cases. Plain English instructions, clear definition of inputs, outputs, and success criteria. No code written by me. Claude Code interprets the natural language instruction, plans the work, executes it, and reports back. The interface is conversational, not technical. Here is the part most owners do not realize until they start running Claude Code in production. The agent can work in parallel. While use case 1 was running through the 300 customer emails, I had a second Claude Code instance pulling the company research for use case 3 and a third instance cleaning the spreadsheet from use case 2. 3 work streams in flight simultaneously. None of them blocked by my attention. None of them blocked by each other. A virtual assistant works through a queue serially. Claude Code works through a portfolio in parallel. The throughput multiplier compounds when you organize your work to take advantage of it. Let me anchor the monthly throughput math. A typical small business virtual assistant produces somewhere between 40 and 70 completed task units per month. Calls returned, documents formatted, research items finished, data entered. The variance depends on task complexity and the VA's experience. Claude Code, at the same monthly cost, can complete hundreds of equivalent task units per month if you feed it work. The bottleneck is your ability to specify the work, not the agent's ability to execute it. Owners who get the leverage are the ones who invest in writing better task specifications. Owners who do not get the leverage are the ones who keep treating the agent like a tool they have to operate manually. Now the technical setup. Claude Code installs with a single command on Mac, Windows, or Linux. You authenticate with your Anthropic account. From there, you give it instructions in your terminal. That is the entire setup. No development environment to configure, no programming language to learn, no build tooling to maintain. If you can use a computer at a business user level, open Word documents, send email, navigate folders, you can use Claude Code. The trust ramp is the most important part of integrating Claude Code into your workflow. Do not start by asking Claude Code to do anything mission critical. Start with low-stakes file organization tasks. Watch how it interprets instructions. Watch where it asks clarifying questions. Watch what it gets right and where you need to adjust your phrasing. Within a week of consistent use, you will know what kinds of tasks to delegate and what kinds of tasks to keep manual. Within a month, you will be delegating work you previously believed required a human. Where does Claude Code fall down? 3 places. First, tasks that require web browsing or interacting with external services where you are logged into multiple accounts simultaneously. That work lives in Claude Chrome territory, not Claude Code. The two tools complement each other, but they have different lanes. Second, anything that requires sensitive credentials needs a deliberate trust model. Claude Code can handle credentials, but you need to think about where they are stored, how they are accessed, and what the audit trail looks like. Do not paste production database passwords into a one-off prompt. Third, anything that requires real-time business judgment is still your job. Claude Code executes. You decide what to execute. Do not blur that line. If you blur it, you will eventually delegate a decision that should have been yours, and the consequences will be on you, not on the agent. Now the cost math, because this is the part that should change the equation for owners watching. Take a typical virtual assistant arrangement. $400 a month, 20 hours of work per week, that is $20 per hour of effective rate. The VA produces maybe 60 units of administrative output per month. Emails handled, documents formatted, research items completed, depending on the work mix. Claude Code at $20 a month produces hundreds of units of equivalent output per month if you keep it busy. The per unit cost differential is enormous. The throughput differential is enormous. The time to completion differential is enormous. The honest trade-off is that you need to be willing to delegate to an AI agent the way you would delegate to a person. You need to write clear instructions. You need to review the output. You need to course correct when something is wrong. You need to build trust over time. The work of management does not go away. It shifts from managing a human to managing an agent. But the leverage you get when the shift completes is the difference between a small business that stays small and a small business that scales without proportional headcount growth. See the systems I use to run Apex AI every day at atss.pro. Innovate, automate, dominate.